Hardwood has a lot of great benefits to it. It's a natural product, and it is eye-catching between the different species and styles. But there's more to consider with hardwood than just, ooh, that looks nice. Really, we want to focus on how should the floor be finished, and how do these different finishes affect the way it will perform in your home. Hey, it's Vinny here, and I'm with Big Bob's. I'm really excited to talk today about different ways to stain hardwood floors. Before we talk about these different techniques, be sure to like the video and subscribe below because we've got a lot of content. Check it out. With site finish floors, an installer takes an unfinished hardwood and puts a stain and several coats on it to create the color and look of the floor. The boards themselves start quite bare as they're cut from the tree and then formed to be the planks to be installed. It's really the installer who is choosing to add that color. The benefits of site finishing is that the installer has a lot of flexibility when it comes to look and color. So if you're trying to match to an existing hardwood, or if you just have a creative look and you can't find the right plank for it, this is a great way to accomplish that, as there's a lot more creativity and options available for site finishing. One thing that's worth noting with site finishing is that it tends to leave a lot of emissions. Not necessarily harmful emissions, it's just that there is a distinctive odor in the process of finishing floors. And the process tends to take somewhere between 3 to 5 days, depending on how large a space it is, simply because they have to move everything out, put one coat on, put a second coat on, and often put a third coat on, and these are done over a series of a couple days. So if being displaced for a couple of days or having that odor in your home is not something good for your household, whether that because you have kids, pets, or can't get out of the house easily, then this is probably not a good choice. The secondary thing is that the conditions have to be perfect for site finishing. The installer is doing it themselves, so if any dust particles or imperfections got carried into the room, they would be sealed in the finish of your floor permanently. In addition, the other big challenge with site finishing is the fact they're all done by hand, so there's the chance of human error. It's greater than when it's done in the factory. Finally, because it's done by hand, the warranty is the installers themselves, which is usually a lot shorter than the factory warranties. And they can't put all of the different ingredients that they put in a pre-finished floor. That said, site finishing is great if you have something you need to match to, or again, if you have a particular style in mind and can't quite find what you're looking for. Factory finish, also known as pre-finished hardwood, is when the board comes out already with the staining and finishing done. This means that it's done in a factory by the manufacturer, and it's often the singleable boards that you see in showrooms are what we call pre-finished. The benefits of pre-finished hardwood is that once it's installed, the floor is done. There's not as long of a process to getting it into your home. The other thing is because it's done in a factory, it's done in a controlled environment, so consistency tends to be a little bit clearer. The next thing that's great about factory finished floors is because it's done in a controlled environment, they can put much longer lasting finishes on the product, and therefore the warranties tend to be better. It's also important to note with factory finished floors that they can apply things like UV radiation protection, aluminum oxide, and other special finishes that can't be done by hand. Pre-finished floors tend to be a little bit more of an investment for the material themselves, but the installation's actually cheaper, and in the end they tend to be pretty close in cost to an unfinished floor being sanded and finished multiple times by a licensed professional. Therefore, the reason you would go with a pre-finished floor is because you found something that you like, because you have an active home and you want something that will hold up a little bit better, and because you don't want it to be displaced as long. These are all great reasons to choose factory finished hardwood floors. Factory finished, site finished, both are great options. It just depends on what you need. Let us know in the comments below what your preference is and why. We're curious.